Welcome, creepy crawlies, to the latest installment of Geek Salad's Road to Infinity War. This week, we are going to talk about AntMan. That's right, I came with props this week.
Nice.
Hey, wish I had thought about this a lot sooner. Today we are talking about the 12th movie in the MCU.
Wow.
Yeah, 12.
They keep cranking them out, and they keep making money.
Exactly. And this is the one, this was the one that everybody thought was going to derail the entire thing, the one that was going to go south.
It's weird. It seems like every phase they've got, actually in phase 2, they had 2 movies like that. First it was Guardians of the Galaxy, then it was Ant-Man.
Right.
And I guess Ant-Man kind of had more of that, though, because of the whole Edgar Wright thing.
Yeah. It was definitely a controversy, which we'll talk about in a minute. So, as always, let's get started. What works about Ant-Man? Mike?
I think you look no further than Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd was brilliant in this role. He gave it nice. He made Scott Lang a very likable character. You understood exactly where he was coming from. You understood why he was doing what he was doing. The scenes between him and Cassie were so touching. They're so beautiful.
They were. Now, I have long gone on record saying that Paul Rudd makes anything he's in that much better. And he's also the most unlikely candidate to appear in a superhero movie. Well, forget Marvel. In a superhero movie.
Yeah, I can't deny that. I mean, he's a likable guy, but you don't look at him and go, "Wow, he should wear tights and fight villains."
Right, exactly. But he really, really works. It's one of those things that for someone like a Paul Rudd, who does a lot of like Boner Jam comedies and stuff like that, the mere fact that he was in serious contention to begin with, let alone getting the part, I think really, really speaks volumes to how invested he was in doing this.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know how. I don't know if it was. I think it was Edgar Wright that first tried to cast him in there, and Peyton Reed just decided to hang on to him. But either way, good call.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. He just, there's a lot about it that Ant-Man's a ridiculous character.
Yeah, he is.
A ridiculous character. So just the mere fact that not only do they have fun with that, I mean, I think the trailers did a little bit of a better job.
Yeah, there were a few lines in that first trailer that I wish had made it to the final movie.
Right. But I'm cool with it either way. It just, he realizes kind of the ridiculousness of the situation and plays it to the hilt.
Yeah.
So good on him. Michael Douglas.
I was going to bring him up next. Yeah.
I was worried about Michael Douglas. I really, truly was. Because, again, you got an Oscar-winning actor who, when I found out he was the one playing Hank Pym, my head nearly exploded.
Yeah, I mean, we've got an actor of the caliber that Michael Douglas is. I mean, this is an Academy Award-winning actor. He has one, right?
Yes, he has. Wall Street, 87.
Yeah, I mean, he has been around for ages. He has always been a very, very respected actor. And then you hear he's going to play Hank Pym, who created the Ant-Man suit and has Pym particles that can make you shrink. I mean, it's like Robert Redford playing, saying Hail Hydra.
Right.
You never think it's going to happen.
Then it does.
And it's magical.
It really does work. Again, this is easily the movie that could have been the actors look embarrassed to be in it. But just like Glenn Close in Guardians of the Galaxy, sure, it was for a paycheck, but at least they looked like they were having fun doing it.
Yeah. Michael
Yeah,
Pena.
you know what really also worked about this movie is that it is the jokiest up to this point of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, but it doesn't feel out of place.
No, I mean the humor. I mean, one thing that some people deride Marvel for its kind of quirky sense of humor, but
Right.
for me, the humor has always been very. It's a part of the story. It doesn't like they don't throw in jokes just to say, "Hey, I made a joke." They throw in jokes because it works with the story. It's pointing out like this is a ridiculous concept, but we're just having fun with it.
Exactly. And that's the thing, I got to give a lot of credit to Peyton Reed for doing that. He has done he does some really good standout comedy work that doesn't really get recognized. I actually really like some of his previous stuff. Bring It On is actually a pretty decent movie, I'm ashamed to say.
I'll have to take your word for that.
And Down with Love is really it is a gem of a movie that never found its audience.
The only one that I remember him doing was Liar Liar. And he did Liar Liar, didn't he?
No, he didn't. That was Tom Shadyac. If he did any Jim Carrey movie at all, it may have been Yes Man.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah. But, I mean, Peyton Reed not only had an uphill battle with this movie because he wasn't the first choice. In fact, the first choice was a nerd's choice. It was Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
Of, Shaun of the Dead.
Shit, you're right. It was Yes Man.
It was. There we go. Give an IMDb page. Edgar Wright was the popular choice. And when he left the project, I think a lot of people lost their minds. And this was the one. This is, again, we're not going to pay this one any credence because Peyton Reed hasn't done much of anything. And we want Edgar Wright. We want that, we want our Joss Whedon back type of thing.
Yeah, the thing about Peyton Reed, though, apparently he is a massive comic book nerd. He loves Ant-Man. He's got volumes of Ant-Man that go back for since from the beginning of Ant-Man, and so he absolutely adores the character, which made him a perfect fit. And apparently, he had already been on Marvel's radar because for a while he'd been trying to pitch a Fantastic Four movie, which actually takes place in the 60s. So it's like a period piece for Fantastic Four, which I think could work. But, they don't have Fantastic Four yet.
Maybe after the Battle of Wakanda, they will. Who knows? You know who else worked in this movie? And Michael Pena is the unsung hero of this movie. I had known of Michael Pena before. I think he's a very capable actor. I didn't realize how funny he was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean... I know I've heard some people say, "Oh, he's just doing a stereotypical thing." But you know what? I didn't see him as a stereotype. I saw him as like your kind of buddy character, your kind of buddy friend that you always know someone like that,
right?
That you always hang around with, and he's always just trying to get you in with his deals. But when it comes down to it, he's got your back, and that was the thing about Luis.
Yeah,
he was Scott's wingman for a reason. They always knew they could trust each other.
Right, exactly. I like it too because nothing ever got him down. He was the positive guy.
Yeah,
nothing got him down, especially at the very beginning when he's asking him what he's been up to, and he's like, "My mom died, my dad got deported, but I got the van.
My girlfriend left me."
And there's just so many great little running gags in the movie too that I really didn't feel overstayed their welcome. The stuff about Baskin and Robbins don't mess around.
And Baskin and Robbins always finds out.
Yeah, they don't play.
And I mean the whole where Louise is telling all his flashback stories.
Oh, those are brilliant. I mean, that is in terms of the best directed parts of the movie. It's that.
Yeah, I mean, having them say their lines and having him voice it exactly to match with the mouth.
Yeah.
That I mean, that was just not only was it a really great hilarious moment, but it fit with the character and it was unexpected.
Yeah, no, it was. But it really matched the tone of the movie. Again, that's the beauty of when Marvel gets jokey, it matches the tone. It's just not out of nowhere. It's not Batfleck telling jokes.
Yeah. Well, guess what? I just bought this. So
I'm rich.
all right.
So anyway, what didn't work?
Um, I'm not gonna say this is. I'm not gonna say that Yellowjacket was the worst villain that they've had, because oddly enough, Corey Stoll as Darren Cross, I thought he was fantastic in the role. It's just when he actually put on the Yellowjacket suit,
Yeah.
he transitioned from like a calculating, very mental villain into I'm going to punch you up.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been completely out of place if it actually had a twirly mustache.
Yeah.
To go along with it.
I didn't hate it, but I liked the climactic battle, but I mean it was a bad guy for the sake of being a bad guy at that point.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely sits, essentially in like the lower mid tier of MCU villains. He's not offensive, but
yeah, I mean, like up here is like Michael Keaton, and like down here is like Malekith. He's more like kind of like maybe right around here, like not midway, but just under.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I really, really wasn't into Hope Van Dyne.
I didn't mind her character. The scene where Scott and her are talking in the car.
Yeah,
and he tells her he would rather lose this war than lose you. I thought that was a fantastic scene. It was a scene that really helped actually bring a lot of levels to her character.
Right, exactly. I just part of the thing is the Evangeline Lilly almost seems like she gets jackhammered into some of these roles sometimes. Same thing with The Hobbit,
Yeah, I'm not going to say that you're completely wrong, but I think what we had to go through with her in the first movie, I have a feeling it's going to be paid off in the second movie. At least I'm hoping anyway.
I really, really hope so. So, how does it stand in the grand scheme of the MCU? Where does Ant-Man? How does Ant-Man hold up?
It doesn't have any big connections to the MCU as a whole, other than that cool little battle between him and the Falcon, which was one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah. It was a great way also of not only was it a great way of tying it in, because it is a very loose, it's a loose tie-in to begin with.
Yeah.
But when they started using that as the that's kind of like the marketing campaign. It's like, don't worry, folks, this is part of the Avengers. Here's the guy from Winter Soldier.
And that does pay off at the very end with the post-credit sequence where, there's that scene from Civil War, but, then Falcon goes, I know a guy. And it connects right back to the scene. So it does help bring, I mean, I would say the purpose of this movie is just to introduce Ant-Man into the MCU so we can use him more.
Right, exactly. And we will see him again. We see him in the next movie we're going to talk about.
Yep.
And we will see him in of course we'll see him again in Ant-Man and the Wasp, but we'll see him before that in Infinity War.
Are we sure about that?
We'll see him, we won't see her.
I'm not even 100% certain if we'll see him. Because I don't know. I've just, in all the stories I've heard about Infinity War, I haven't heard any mention of him being on set.
Okay.
I mean, he could be. I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah, we'll find out.
So yeah. So that is Ant-Man. Where does it rank?
It ranks on mine. Again, this is before I bring in Black Panther. But right now, Ant-Man is my number 8.
Okay. It is my number 13. And partly reasoning why, if I have to justify this, is that in terms of jokey Marvel movies, there were just some that kind of clicked off more boxes for me.
All right.
In no, with 18 movies, this is in no means the 15th worst movie.
Yeah.
Or the 5th worst movie. It is a really, really good movie. It's just that, Spider-Man and Ragnarok just offered a little more.
Yeah. For me, I'm a kind of a sucker for heist movies, and I really did like the heist aspect of this movie.
I loved the heist aspect of this movie. I think it worked really well. And again, going back to the genre film that most of Phase 2 decided to move to.
And damn it, this movie made me cry over an ant.
It did, Anthony. Rest in peace, or whatever the hell ants do when they rest.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But so that was Ant-Man. So next week we are going to discuss Captain America: Civil War.
Ooh.
Oh, it's a biggin. It's a biggin. So if you like this video, if you feel like we missed anything, feel free to comment below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe, please. We are pretty much averaging new content every week now.
Yeah, which I'm very proud of.
It's pretty cool. Also, don't forget to check out Mike and my podcast, Geek Salad, which can be got at geeksalad.podbean.com or right on the Podbean app or iTunes, or we have just been ranked number 23 top growing podcast on Stitcher.
That still boggles my mind. I can't believe it.
23. It's on my resume now. It is seriously on my resume if I ever want to get like a creative job.
Wow. Hey, cool. I could use that.
You can, can't you? Hey, I am a co-producer of the show. It's on my resume. So anyway, you can also check out all our goings on either on Twitter at Geek Salad Radio or on Facebook at Geek Salad Podcast, or you can drop us a line at geeksalladradio@gmail.com. So until next week, I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike.
This has been Road to the Infinity War. We will see you next week, and Excelsior!